What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about book cover design and the key things you should have on your book cover. So, as you probably can already guess, you're going to need a book title. What do I mean by book title? I mean what I say. You need a book title, and if you haven't picked a title, go ahead and pick one right now. Your title should come to you before you're writing your story, and if you haven't chosen it yet, you can still decide. We have all the time in the world. Well, as much time as you're going to, spend on actually picking the title. And for some people this takes weeks, for some people this takes 30 seconds. Here's a few tips, just from the perspective of a book cover designer. I want to cover, like, should you have a long title? Should you have a short title? In my opinion, short titles look better. Long titles still do work as long as you can make them fit. You know what I mean? I don't think there's really a length to title limit, but you don't want to have like a 100-word title. I think that would be way too much. I've never seen that extensive of a title ever. I think the best titles are 1-word, 2-word titles are great, and if you have like almost a sentence looking title, then that's still fine too. It's probably just going to take up more than one line, because when you do have a lot of words, you can't fit them all in one small space and expect like people to read that from really far away. So you kind of got to change up word sizing, and that's another part of cover design. So let's take a look at a few titles here. Floundering, there. I think we'll just pick The Science of Writing today, just for the sake of time, and it's a nice book cover. So the titling on this cover came out really nice. We went with a black and blue and a gray font. As you can see, it's not that long of a title, The Science of Writing, and then the subtitles right below it: Creative Writing Deciphered, Dr. Michael Mema. And this is a cover I did, probably like 8 months ago or so, and it turned out really nice. I'm happy with the cover, and if you guys can see the title length, obviously it's not something too long. So I think the more you can focus on just what is relevant to your book, then you shouldn't really have an issue with any of these things. It should all be pretty straightforward and kind of a simple process. So as far as your subtitle, how long can that be, and what is a key point, to having your subtitle on your cover? One, I think subtitles are a great way to just take your title a step further, because sometimes titles don't explain books, and you kind of, you need something that's going to explain a little bit more about what your book's about, and that's a great time for you to use your subtitle. So I think that's probably one of the only times you would use a subtitle. I do have people put, like, I'm working on a cover it's a series cover, and we have, the book name is Shadow Strike, and under it we have, like, prequel to book, a book name. And there's like 4 different books, but you can kind of see where I'm going with the title and subtitle. So, next most important thing is going to be your author name. Obviously, you want to get your name on your cover. You wrote the book, so you need the credit. And I think if readers know who you are, you're just going to be a lot more successful, and it's going to be a lot better if you're trying to actually build a brand as an author, because I think ultimately you want people to know who you are. Just like when J.K. Rowling put all her work into writing Harry Potter, everybody knows who J.K. Rowling is now, and if you haven't seen the movies, you can see how far her books took her, is what I'm trying to say, and how the name J.K. Rowling really stood out for some good written books that actually were really successful. I think when you give a crap about what you're doing, you're going to actually move there a lot faster. And the ones who do it versus the ones who don't, it's like it's automatically filtering them like out. So if you can kind of picture it as like the best sellers are just normal authors, they just did the process that much better than other authors, which made them stand out and actually sell a lot of books and actually get a lot further. So I think, reflecting off of what did they do successfully is going to help you become more successful, and I think that's just something that can definitely help you out. So next, you want to make sure you have a good illustration, or if you're not using an illustration, have a good, photo on your cover. And if you're not using a photo, you could use multiple photos and use photo manipulation as a tactic. Or you could have no photo, no image, no illustration. You could just do all typography on your cover, which would look really good. I think all typography is a great way to make your cover stand out. And I like book covers that are simple, but yet they're like really eye-catching, and they're bold and crisp to the point where you're like, that's a nice book. You know what I mean? I think there's a few books I've seen at Barnes & Noble the other day, and I'm like, man, these are sharp covers. When your lettering is crisp, smooth, and nothing's blurry and everything's on point, your covers is just gonna start to really like look good. And I think once you're aware of these factors of what makes a cover look good, you're automatically going to start, like, I think you just learn what to do. It's as simple as that. You learn what to do, what not to do, what you can do better, and you just you make the adjustments. So the next most important thing, or should I say key thing for your book cover, because we're just going over a few points that I want to share with you, because I'm always trying to share information that's going to help you authors out, you writers, you people who actually are putting in the hard, long hours of just sitting there pecking away at your keyboard, or, well, we don't handwrite books, so it would be on your keyboard or on your phone. Yeah, so for the sake of this video, I think we should pick another cover. Do you? I think so. So let's get right in here. Oh, hey, covers fallen covers. Hold up. So we got Through the Hostage here by J.C. Steele. This is another cover I really like. I did this probably right around when I started up joshuajedon.com. And, it's one of my you could say one of my first covers, my first series covers, but it still came out super, super eye-catching. And I think that, this is just a good example of what you can do with book cover design, and, how you can use your titling, subtitle. You can see we have the subtitle right under the title, and then the author name. So the key thing for this cover, what made it stand out the most, was the imaging we used. We have this superhuman robot dude that's kind of like the main character, and then we have like this space alien type landscape background, which she really wanted these two things on her cover because JC was like, look, this is what I want. If you could do this, great. And I just went ahead and we created it. So I think that it's important to just learn what the actual process is, and once you know the process, it's like it'll be easy, and the process really involves just collaboration between the author and a designer, to really fine-tune and make a cover come out exactly how you would want to see a book cover in the store. I always try to imagine, like, think about your book, but from the perspective of a reader. Now think about what that reader would want to see, think about what that reader would want to read on your cover, think about just the reader's perspective. Put their shoes on and kind of understand it from them, because they're going to be your audience. It's not going to be you. It's going to be everybody who picks up your book and wants to learn more about what you've written. So I just think if you can do it right, you're doing it right, So keep your head up and look at book cover design as an opportunity, not this big feat or task that's just like, I gotta do this book cover design and da-da-da. It should just be like, I gotta do my book cover design, and this thing is gonna be on point, because these readers gotta pay attention, because I'm putting my time in right now, and our time, your time as an author, has to count. Sorry, my camera died, so back to what we were talking about. Where do I leave off? Well, I guess we'll just continue with talking about book cover design. So, you've put in the hard work. Make sure your cover is right with it, right with your hard work, because you've written this amazing book. I hope it's amazing, because I think if you put in the writing, or if you wrote the words, that means you thought the words, and that means you actually gave enough craps to actually put it down on paper so you could get other people to read about it. I think if you can do that, you already took the first step as an author. So whether you're self-publishing a book, whether you're just writing a book, whether you're doing anything that has to be book related, I think that if you're in control, which you are, because you're the author, again, you're the one who's deciding to get it published, then just look at every little step as an opportunity, and the better that you do it, the better success your book's going to have. So keep grinding, guys. Hope your day is going well. I will talk to you on the next video, which should be tomorrow, because I'm recording these during the week. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying your writing. Make sure not to mess up your grammar errors too many times within the actual text, because it doesn't look good when you get it published. So make sure you have a good editor, or make sure you're good at editing books yourself. Have a good night. I will talk to you guys on the next video. Peace.